getting legislation passed in the House of Representatives or in the Congress isn't an easy task. And when, as I said, you have the leadership of a speaker who has the values and the understanding of where we need to go, and you have colleagues like George Miller, who I revere. I think with paycheck fairness, I can tell this story. Once George was is a very dear friend, and I asked him why this wasn't coming up in the committee. He said, well, you don't have enough votes, and he was very cross and stern with me, and that wasn't unlike George. So damn it, we were going to go out and we got the votes. We got him the votes he needed to pass the paycheck fairness bill. But he said, as the speaker pointed out, that this bill was going to be named for Lilly Ledbetter because she was the hero of this effort. And it is for the love of Lilly that we really are here, and what was done, and why there was so much of heart and soul into this process of passing a piece of legislation, because of what her life was about and what she did. And she was more than just an advocate. She was a kindred spirit to me. I believe that really our working class roots, hers in Jacksonville, Alabama, mine in New Haven, Connecticut, helped to bond us before we really ever met. My mother worked in the sweatshops in New Haven, Connecticut. She sewed shirt collars for pennies, and in the needle trades industry, when you work and you move as fast as you can because it's piecework, that if you get the needle in your finger, which happens often, you don't go get a tetanus shot, you just wrap your hand up, because if you get a drop of blood on the garment, you don't get paid. And when I was very young, I was an only child. We were evicted. We came home one Friday night, and all of our possessions were out on the street. Not because my folks were working and hard at work, but they struggled financially all of their lives. So we went to live with my grandmother until they could get back on their feet. My mom went on to serve on the city board of alders, the city council, where her mission was making sure that government worked for people. And she gave me the advice that I relied on for my entire career. It's never give up and never take no for an answer. And Lilly Ledbetter embodied that advice and that spirit of determination. She grew up in a house, as we've been told, without running water or electricity, receiving only a high school education. But she learned a strong work ethic from her family, picking cotton on her grandfather's farm as a child. And after she graduated, she took the job at Goodyear. For 20 years, Lilly worked as one of the only women on the factory floor. After decades of this, quote, dream job in Gadsden, Alabama, she received an anonymous note informing her that she had been receiving 40% less pay than her male co-workers for years. There were laws against pay discrimination at that time, but they were not being enforced. She sued for back pay and for damages. She was awarded over $3 million by a lower court, but Goodyear appealed. The case went to the Supreme Court, and in 2007, it ruled 5-4 against her on a technicality regarding when she knew about the pay discrepancy, that said she had a certain period of time to file, and that time had passed, but she knew nothing about the level of discrimination. Reversing the damages is what the Supreme Court did. Damages that she had been awarded at the first trial, never ever reaching the merits of the case. Lilly Ledbetter received nothing. Her courage, her grace and her grit, said she needed to move forward. Really a hero. Lilly was outraged. She started to lobby. And I look at Marcia Greenberger here, and I say thank you to you, Marcia Greenberger. Thank you for, and AAUW all over the country helped to take this issue across this country. Jocelyn, the women who worked with her had been pioneers in legislation that changed the lives of women in this country. People like Marcia and Judy and Jocelyn and others who made such a difference. The early legislation that we had to fight, and they fought so hard for, and I looked to them as mentors. And when I came, looked to them to help me make my way in the Congress. And we fought. The story, and it's there. She did not accept no for an answer. She knew her decision to sue was fraught with the financial danger. And it's in this film, and she told me this story. She said to her husband, "We can lose everything." And he said, "Go for it." He was there standing side by side with her when they knew it was treacherous waters that they were facing. We fought together for the Fair Pay Act and for the Paycheck Fairness Act. Both were on the floor of the House of Representatives. But when I could tell you that when the Fair Pay Act, I'll just tell you, just don't mention any names. I wanted to, the Speaker wanted to, we wanted to bring both bills to the Senate floor to do it. We were told that it couldn't happen, so we would go with the Fair Pay Act, and someday, very soon, we would have the Paycheck Fairness Act. Today, we still don't have the Paycheck Fairness Act, and we're gonna fight like hell to get a Paycheck Fairness Act. Men and women in the same job deserve the same pay. But I just have to tell you, and the Speaker will smile, we were at the signing ceremony. We were at the signing ceremony for the Fair Pay Act, and the President was giving the pens, and we were going back and giving the pens, and making sure that everyone got one, and I got one, the Speaker got one, and I got the pen, and I was about ready to reach it back to someone, and she says, "Hold on to the pen." She said to me, "Hold on to that pen." So it was an unbelievable moment, I've had the honor, really, and I've been blessed to be able to fight for pay equity in the Congress. We went into battle together, Lilly. Underneath her genteel Southern charm, she was an iron fist and a velvet glove. She became an unstoppable force in the Congress and a rallying cry for women across this nation. We became the closest of friends. She visited me in Connecticut several times since we passed the Fair Pay Act in 2009. She was with me when I celebrated my 25 years in the Congress. Seeing her portrayed in this film by Patricia Clarkson, along with other key figures in the fight for equal pay, like, as I said, Marcia and Jocelyn and George Miller, feels like more than just a tribute. It is a call to action. Because Lilly's mission did not end with the Fair Pay Act. That victory restored the law of the land on pay discrimination, but it did not provide tools to challenge discrimination going forward. Lilly kept traveling this country, speaking out, championing the cause of equal pay, not because she benefited from it, but because our work is not done. On average, a woman still earns only 75 cents for every dollar that a man makes, and the disparities are even worse for women of color. This is a fight that we continue to this day. The Paycheck Fairness Act passed the House of Representatives 4 times. The Speaker spoke volumes about the United States Senate, and we can't seem to get it there. I know that if we follow Lilly's lead, adopt her courage, we will succeed. We'll close the gender wage gap once and for all. Lilly never set out to be a hero, but she became one for me and for millions of women whose struggles for equal pay and recognition she elevated. And I hope this film inspires all of us to keep up that fight. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me to be here with all of you tonight.